So I think we're live. It says
We
live.
are.
Hi. Well, hi, Shannon. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited just to have conversations with people and record them for the world to see. Just meeting interesting and new people.
I love it. Well, you and I were just chatting on FaceTime because we were trying to make sure we understood how to even connect to a live. And as it always does, we just like started the conversation. So I think we should just pick up where we left off. You were telling me a little bit about your backstory because I was like, I don't even know you, Shannon. Who are you and what are you doing? So I think you should just take it from there and start
Okay.
talking about who you are and what led you here.
Okay. I'm really excited that we both said yes, not knowing anything about each other. I absolutely love this. So I grew up in a deeply religious home where to be a good woman was to be barefoot in the kitchen, taking care of the family, being under your husband, all that good stuff. And I had a kid, got married, had more kids, and I did that for about a decade. I was a stay-at-home mom. Absolutely loved it, but there was always something deeper in me that was calling to be more, to matter more. And so when my youngest I felt old enough to be able to tell me if anything was wrong at daycare. I nervously put her in daycare and I went back to school, got my bachelor's degree, and then went into corporate. And I was in corporate for about 11 years. And it felt like just trading one prison for another. I had no economic power and no voice really as a stay-at-home mom. But then I went to corporate and I had my own money now, but I still had no voice. And I had to be a completely different person than who I was. And I would get so frustrated. And my youngest would often ask me, why are you even working? Because I would just be frustrated and, going off and telling my husband about my day. And she would always be like, why are you still working? Well, Valentine's of 2025, yeah, 2025, I got laid off in a 30-second, due to budget cuts, we're letting you go.
And how long had
And
you been there at that time?
at that place, I had been there about a year.
Okay.
And they were merging, and the whole thing made me really mad because they were merging. They could have found somewhere for me, but they decided not to. So I was like, okay, all right. And I part of me was happy, and part of me was like, oh no, what do I do now? Now I have to go back
The
into the
fear.
job market.
The
It's
fear
not a
sets
great
in.
job market. Yeah, totally freaking
Is
out.
it ever? Oh my gosh, I feel like when is it ever, honestly, a great job market? Because I feel like you still need a
It's been a
connection.
few. Yeah. My husband's been laid off, gosh, 3, 4 times. I don't know. And it's been okay. But this
Okay.
last, oh my God. So I got laid off. He got laid off 3 weeks after I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fear inducing. Like you can't
Yeah.
escape that.
And
Yeah.
so we're like, okay, well, I guess we've been in worse positions than this. So, all right. Um, and I was putting out my resume everywhere. I'm in marketing. It is cutthroat to get a job. And so he started doing the same. And then he was trying to figure out what business that we could start together. And he's like, yeah, so I was going for back and forth with ChatGPT, and I think we should start a marketing agency. And I was like, dude, how many times have I told you I do not want to start a marketing agency? I've seen it, I've worked with it, hard pass. And he's like, okay. And then I was thinking about it a few days later. I was like, well, I mean, I guess I know what to do. And he so I'm a manifester. I initiate, and he's a generating manifester, and he loves to do. And so I was like, well, okay, fine. we'll do this. We'll try this. Because he was really struggling with trying to find a job more than he ever has before. And I think we did that for maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe. And my entire body just shut down. I woke up one day and I was done. Like I couldn't talk. I was done.
Yeah.
And I told him, and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work out. I can't do this. I just can't. And he's like, okay, okay. And so I took the month of August last year and had my pen and my journal and started going down the route of YouTube University and going back to who am I outside of being a mom, outside of my career? What do I really want for my life? What do I want it to look like? I'm about to be an empty nester. What do I want? Who am I? That really deep question we always have. And that I feel like so many women are having right now. It is just astonishing. And so I took that month and really put no pressure on myself for job applications or anything like that. And I ended up finding human design. I have taken every single personality test that has ever been created because I love psychology, understanding the world, understanding myself, and that's how I understand people is through psychology. And something really clicked. I like it because it's not self-reporting. It is who I am. It is who I was created to be on this planet at this time.
Yeah.
And that really, really resonated with me. And so I went deep. When I get a little bee in my bonnet, it is deep. And so I completely obsessed about it. And I've been trying to figure out how to make this idea of socially transmitted diseases that my husband actually had come up with in a random chat we had years ago. I was like, ooh, I like that idea. And I just kind of tucked it away for later. And I've always come back to that. And how do I bring this idea to the world? Because we all have these stories that we tell ourselves and these beliefs that we don't even realize we have that are holding us back. And so I took my moment of getting laid off and not having a plan and that freak out moment, and I thought about what would I have wanted and what would I have needed for those key decisions to have something started. So when I got laid off, it was like, oh, all right, well, there's permission now for me to put some more gas on the fire rather than freaking out.
Yeah, a gift.
And so yeah, exactly. And so I married those two together, and that's where the clean exit ended up being born from.
That is amazing. I have a couple of questions. One, how many children do you have?
I have 4.
4.
And a grandbaby.
You said you went on to have more, and I was like, how many? So
yeah, I have 4 and a grandbaby. Yep.
And a grandbaby. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a grandma. It's so weird.
I love
I don't
that.
feel old enough.
You're not. You definitely don't look old enough. So we'll just leave it at that.
I don't feel old enough.
And I love what you said about human design and the personality tests, because I have taken, honestly, not that many of the personality tests, because instantly when I took the first one, I was like, this is so influential. I could answer this completely different tomorrow. And I'm going to show up as a completely different type and person and human. So I'm one of those people that,
I did
as
that
I was
once for a
taking
job.
it, truly, like I was like, well, who do you want me to be today?
I did that once to get a job.
I'm like, let me look at your ecosystem of your, entire corporation, and I'll just show up as that person so you can hire me.
I did that.
I'm a real good chameleon.
Yep.
But that's what I love. And that's what I try to tell everybody about human design. And here's what I think is so funny, and also how this is just how the universe shows up. You and I had no idea that either one of us was interested in human design at
Mm-mm.
all. To the point where when you was speaking with me yesterday, I was like, I should tell her that the conversation she wants to have, I will probably dive into human design and astrology. And I want to make sure that's okay, because I have come to learn not everybody is on board with those conversations. So when you brought that up in the first few seconds, I was like, this is just how the universe shows up. Like, it just brings
Yep.
people energetically into your atmosphere that pass that vibe check, right?
Yep. Yep.
But that's what I try to tell people about human design, is like, it's not subjective. This is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with astrology. You're going to hear things and read things about yourself that it's not somebody influencing you and telling you you're this person. It is the deep connection and inner knowing. And I think for women, what it is you suddenly feel seen and validated.
100. I cannot tell you that was the biggest. I have had so many things in my life where I've always felt weird and odd and different.
It doesn't
And
match
I was
what
a
society
5-2
is telling us.
manifestor. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's why. It was such a moment. I mean, even just talking about it gives me chills. It was
Yeah.
such a moment of, yeah, being seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman, I think like that manifestor energy is so in the masculine that society wants us to feel like that is a man's life and a man's role, right? We fall into the generator, projector, reflector archetype. But we have to remember that the energies of masculine and feminine are within all of us. And
Yep.
that's where we have to take the picture of society out. And what you're saying about like
Mhm.
women getting to a point in their life, like now, like you're probably connected with all of these people who are showing up and like, I don't know who I am. It's like, it's so
Welcome.
validating.
Welcome.
Well, and it's true, because it's like you've always known who you are, but you
Mhm.
have lived inside a mold that has been built for you
That's where
and
the STDs
shaped.
come in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all of the beliefs and expectations that have been put
Mhm.
on you from everywhere, your family of origin, society, corporate culture, everywhere,
Yeah.
and you've absorbed them thinking that they were true, and they're not.
Yeah.
And as so many different modalities right now are talking about these massive, shifts that are happening in our
Mhm.
entire sphere,
Yeah.
and I think that that's part of why there's so many women right now who I don't wanna call it a crisis because I don't think it's a crisis, I
No, it's like
more of
it's a
awakening,
collective
I guess,
shift. Yeah, it's a huge,
but
massive collective
it's
shift.
gonna be this wave that I
Mhm.
don't think the general world is really ready for.
Right for? Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm studying right now, uh, AI adoption through a gendered lens because I'm curious why so many women are hesitant, don't wanna use it, and, all of the messages that were sent that are not true about that. And so right now I'm studying the, history, just in general history of women. I've never been so angered in my life. And seeing all of the last just 150 years of history up until this point for women and how we've had to fight for everything, and I like it there's going to be an explosion, and I don't think the world's ready for it.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
gonna be just a whole generation of women who just say, "Fuck it, I'm done,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and go their route because you can only take somebody so far from who they truly are, and you can only burn them out so far before they just can't go anymore.
Yeah.
And so many women have been living in those structures that are
Yeah.
just tired.
Yeah, it's really true. Your perspective of AI is interesting because I actually feel it's different. I actually am like, I am in the world and the landscape of men are more afraid of AI. than women are, because I think women, the people that I've been connected with, see it as, I am not a robot to show up and continue to do monotonous daily tasks again and again and again. I am a creator. I have, creation wisdom inside of me. And I
Mm.
am more like, I should be using my mind to think and engage with the world and see how we can evolve and create efficiencies. Let the AI do the tasks that I am not meant to do. I am not here to work harder to achieve what I know I am capable of achieving. So, like, and I'm living in that world right now. And maybe that's why the picture is so big for me, because I'm still working in corporate currently. My story is almost like complete opposite of yours.
Please tell me. Please tell me. It's your turn.
But in my face right now, I mean, truly, I am living at a minimum 10-hour work days, and at a norm 12 to 14. And I have this whole story in my head that's telling me, you shouldn't be doing this. But now the fear is, I have stability financially, and that's where my story will come into play. So now I'm facing dilemmas within myself that I'm like, I've got to make a choice. I know what I should do, but now I'm scared. But we can rewind a little bit to my story. I am a mom of 3. When I had gone to college to become a teacher, elementary education, by the time I finished my program, I knew I would not teach in the
I have a
traditional
friend
school
like
system.
yeah.
I was like, I'm out. Like, we're good. I also have always had this entrepreneurial spirit. I've known that freedom is something that is deeply ingrained in me. Like, you take away my sense of freedom, and that's when I rebel. I'm
Mhm.
like, tell me
Mhm.
I can't, and see how far that gets you. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm also like a strict rule follower. So the two often are a little bit funny. Like, I'm like, I'll follow the rules, but it's going to be to my own accord. So went into the entrepreneur space, and really, I got married right away. I had a baby within 11 months, and could not send him to be taught and educated, similar to you. Like, I was afraid. I was like, I've worked
Mhm.
in childcare centers.
Mhm.
Okay, they
Mhm.
scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
it's not happening. So I did it on my own. I was like, forget it. We're good. I can do this. And that was it. No hesitation. I had no fear around it. And I think, like, my naivete sometimes is one of my greatest strengths, because I'm just like, I don't know what I don't know. I'm just doing it. So I went into in-home childcare, um, and I had a great product, a great service, right? Like, I filled up immediately. My wait list was, I don't know, it was never ending. So I ended up opening a center, which I said I would never open. But I was like, if I can take my model, and I was more, I wasn't truly Montessori at that time, because I hadn't had that level of certification, but I knew there was something different to the traditional program. So long story short, opened a center. It grew wildly, but just continued to push the envelope. And I knew then that I was like, I don't want to keep growing. Like, I'm good. But everybody around me was like, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. But I was in the phase of having babies. So I did all of this while having 2 other children.
Oh,
My
wow.
oldest, now in school, decided to homeschool him. So, and then my husband also was an entrepreneur and had his own business in construction. So I was full on mom 24/7, building
Wow.
and growing my business to expansion. And when you say you got laid off, when for me, that was like not listening to that intuition, and it finally just smacking me in the face. And I truly walked away, found somebody to take it, didn't, no buyout, nothing, took no money,
Oh,
carried all of the debt that I
wow.
still owed for my loan, for everything, took it
Wow.
all, because that is the state of, I don't even, it was bottom of the barrel. Like, this, it was rock bottom in my world. The stress and anxiety I had every day, waking me up at 3 o'clock, not showing up to be a mom the way I wanted to. it was too much. So went back to in-home, loved it. Like my whole life was turning around, but the damage from my relationship had been done. And it ended up in this really toxic, emotionally charged, damaging, emotionally abusive relationship. And I turned into somebody I have never known myself to be. I shut down. Like I was like this meek little, like he would speak to me and I would immediately like just close off. And it was so strange because I have always been a huge advocate. Like if somebody's being bullied, I'm like, I have no problem going up to somebody and being like, do not speak to them like that. And being in the shoes of somebody who like needed to be rescued, validated, and seen, I was like, who is this? This is not me. And it's just weird. The people we turn into when our environment shifts. And so I knew, like, I was like, I can't stay in this relationship. Like, I just couldn't. But it took me years to really, really and truly own that and be like, okay, I'm good. And also to be at a place where emotionally, mentally, even like nervous system, I was ready. So for years, I built my in-home again. I got the financial structure underneath me. I got to a really good sound place. And we came to an agreement together that we would separate. To this day, it's been the best decision I've ever made for my children and for my relationship with their dad. They have a father now for the first time since any of them have been born. And it has been like life-changing for them. It led me on a downward spiral of financial doom.
I bet.
I moved out of our home because I knew that it would create huge resentment if I stayed, because to him, he had built that. Totally untrue. But in his mind, that was his story. And I was like, if I have any opportunity to salvage this for my kids, I have to just walk away. I also didn't want it. Like we had a massive home. Like I was like, I don't want this life. I don't care about the money. I'm good. So I truly walked away with nothing. Also, my in-home childcare was at that home. So I was giving up my business.
Oh, wow.
I also moved into a rental home which didn't allow childcare. So I was like, okay, here we go. But at the time, through all of this, had found astrology, found human design, also found health and wellness and integrative wellness. So I started off on my, entrepreneurial career of being basically an integrative wellness coach. And realized that getting a divorce does not go hand in hand with building your own business.
I can imagine.
Oh my gosh. So so I actually then turned to corporate for the first time ever and got a degree, or got a job as a director at a wellness company. It was a startup, so I loved the energy. I could still be like an entrepreneur building somebody else's. So that was the first time. I was there for almost 2 years. The money ran out of finance, or the company ran out of financing. So I was laid off. And I struggled for 11 months to try to find something. And I fell back to education because I was like, look, I know this. Like, I have to do it. Like, I need to provide for my kids, and money, the tank is out.
Yeah, the kids like to eat.
And
Imagine
I
that.
joke about it now, but like truly, like I was using food stamps to buy groceries, and I was like asking my parents for money to pay rent some months, putting things on credit cards. Like I had worked so hard to build my credit, right? So it was just, everything was still falling apart. And I could have sat in like the anger of like, I made the wrong choice and I should have fought for more. I deserved more, but I couldn't. I would not allow myself to like fall into the victim
Good for you.
of most women when they leave a marriage. And I was like, I just saw it as I was going through it. And that was a gift, because I know most women can't do that. But truly, like as I was going through it, I was like, no, this is happening for me. There's something here. I know I'm going to be okay. I had thank God, family and friends who could support me when I couldn't support myself. And I just stayed the course. And I didn't blame him, because he's human and humans make mistakes. And I didn't want that to be my story, because I could only imagine how hard it would be to tell something different when I was out of it. So anyway, here we are today. The education piece, I had another layoff. The school that I had built finally in Montessori, I took over as a head of school. I was there for, gosh, we had literally just opened our doors, and 6 weeks later, we found out that the company was closing. So it was
Oh,
like,
wow.
and honestly, that was the first time that I was like, this is a gift. I'm like, I'll take it. I don't want to be in this space. I know I can do something else for myself. Anyway, but then I had another great opportunity come through, and I took it, and I knew, like, I was excited about it, and I'm still glad I'm there to this day. But there's a lot of things I know. I don't have to work this hard to show up and to be seen. And it's taught me that I am capable of building my own business again. I've done it before, and I'm just like, let's just do it. What are we waiting for? But I'm at the point now where I'm like, but I'm so financially secure. And I've prayed for this for so long. And now that fear has set in of like, look at what you're risking. So now I'm having those conversations with myself of, who do you trust? Do you trust your inner knowing and your intuition? And do you just let go because you trust that you're going to be taken care of? Or do you just stay here and keep fighting every day while building this other thing over here, but they're not giving you any time to build the thing over here? So your
Here,
soul
let me tell
is
you,
like, you're losing.
this is the, so I have, every morning I draw, a tarot card and an oracle card. I love this one. It's my favorite. I've had it for years. And this is what I drew this morning. I guess it's backwards, but and it's exactly what you were just saying.
Sold.
It's exactly what you were saying, exactly what I need to hear too.
Yeah.
Just trust the process. Because even for us, thankfully my husband has a good job. We can at least, feed the kids left at home and pay the mortgage and all that good stuff. But it's hard. Like there's,
Yeah,
our
and I'm
car's got to
living
get
with
fixed. And
my partner. So we moved in together, and he also has 3 kids. So I'm like, mom of 3 plus, bonus 3. And truly it's the same. Like, he had this home before I moved in with him. So I'm like, we can survive off of his finances. And so it's really just like finding that confidence and remembering and letting go. But even as a coach, I'm like, listen, we all go through this. This is the stuff I preach and tell clients all of the time. And I'm still struggling with my own decision to make it. But I'm a Scorpio, so I can be a little stubborn. It takes a really long time to make a decision because I keep thinking it's going to get better. And I think that's the lesson I'm trying to tell myself here is I'm playing around with, because I know the energetics of the world, and we've got a lot of, like, right now, things are speeding up. Like, your karmic debts are being paid off very quickly because we've got this 2-year window of time where really we need to evolve into the person and the life that we're going to lead long term, come like 2027, 2028. So there's this window of, like, a lot of it's going to be falling off and a lot of karmic debt is going to be paid. So I am trying to pay attention to, what if my karmic debt is leaving things before I have something set up? And I'm just now realizing the karmic debt is really more that I hold on to things too long. And I really have known the whole time. So now I'm trying to grapple with, and honestly, this came through this morning where I was like, where is it? What's the part that I'm supposed to be, like, healing and evolving? And it was like clear as days. It was like, no, you always stay. Your choice now is to be like, I trust. Let it go. We're going to be okay. Everything has always turned out. So that's my life story right now and where I am. And in human design, I am a generator. So I am like, do. So it's scary because right now in my job, I'm doing all day long, every day. And I know it's going to be uncomfortable when I leave that, because as you're building, there's not a ton. Like, there's things to do, but it's not the same as showing up with very structured things in front of you all day, every day.
Yep.
Here we are. That's why I said yes to this conversation, because I was like, listen, we're making changes. So go have
That's
the
good.
conversations.
I'm so glad you did. I can see so much of myself in your story. I've tried 14 plus, I stopped counting at 14 different business ideas from my early 20s up until that marketing agency. All of the things, and one of the gifts of human design was, so I don't have any regrets in my life except that I didn't stick with one of those ideas longer because I would let
Mm.
fear come in, or it just wasn't a good fit. I had an in-home daycare at one point, and I was like, after a few years, I'm like, I can't do this.
God
I
bless.
can't.
Truly,
I can't.
in-home
There is a
childcare
special place in
providers.
heaven for you.
Ooh. I mean, I loved doing it when it was my own kids there, because to me that was my greater purpose and why. Like I needed to
Yeah.
have an income, and so I did it.
Yep.
And to be
Yep.
honest,
Yep.
I
Yep.
was great. I was like I was not surprised I was filled all the time, because I'm really good at it. But I also think that's another thing, like, women have to let go of. Just because we're really good at something doesn't mean it has to be your journey. And that took me really a hard time to let go of. But yeah, God bless the people who just stay in that because
Right.
they love it.
Right. I say them and middle school teachers.
Oof.
There is a special place in heaven for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, and I want to talk for what you just said, that there's so many things we're good at that we could do, but it's not necessarily what our gift is to the world.
Yeah.
I talk about finding your slice of genius because we all have something. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that each of us is put on this planet at this time for a purpose, and it is our responsibility to figure out what that purpose is.
Yeah.
Even if you're a homeless man on the street or some high powered CEO, it doesn't matter. We are all here for a reason, and it's our responsibility to figure out what we're going to be giving the world. And we can get stuck in all the shiny things and all of what the gurus say that we should be doing or we could be doing. You see all the YouTube videos, the 20 best niches to do blah blah blah, and you're going to be a millionaire. You just send 5 emails, and we get stuck in that, and then it doesn't work, and we get discouraged, and we think it's not for us, and then we go back to a life that we hate, and we have this cycle when, like, there is something, we just have to take a minute to go inside, to figure out who we are and what we're good at, and then we can bring that to the world, and then we just keep on going that. So
Yeah.
what would you say is your slice of genius, your thing that you want to leave the world?
Yeah. I am starting to realize, and this is where this business, my current business, the name came from. And it started to become abundantly clear to me that my message is to really take it back to the roots and to remind people of what the power of connection can do. So, my current business is called A
Mm.
Connected Space. I am an integrative coach for moms, because I do so much. It's kind of like hard to identify and tell people what I really do. But truly, like, I still have a huge connection to education and childhood and family. But I
Mhm.
think that the mom is the center of that. And so, getting moms, like you said, to remember to tap into who they are and to stop listening to the world around them.
Yeah.
Because the more that you are embodied in who you are and you can fill your own cup, the amount of that overpouring is what's going to be given to your
Mm.
children.
Preach
And
it.
we cannot neglect, like, the gifts that we're giving are to be left behind for them to come into their own space and to keep doing better. So I'm just starting to realize and kind of play around with, like, what does that look like and what does that mean? And connection has always been at the forefront of my mind. Like, when I get into a place where I feel like I'm not enough, not doing enough, not on the right path, it always comes back to my connection with my kids and my family,
Mhm.
and how I want to grow those relationships. And then you fall into this reminder of, we are in relation with everything. We're in relation to our
Right.
bodies, to our intuition. to our food, to our families, to our money, to intimacy. Everything is about our relation. And that's how I've always looked at, like, when I was simply like an integrative wellness coach, it was the whole wheel of your life. It wasn't the food on your plate, right? Or the body that you were moving. It was everything. That's what encompasses a life well lived. So I think my message really is to, like, empower moms into remembering to build those relationships, but it starts with your relationship with yourself and not to give from that empty cup, which sounds so simple, but it's like we're all pouring from empty cups right now. And not every day looks like a mom or looks,
Yeah.
like a full cup for a
Yep.
mom. But yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out, like, my voice and all of it, but I'm also starting to realize that it doesn't have to be linear. Like, I can also have my family space that I love. Like, I love also talking about how you can show up as a mom. I've homeschooled my kids. I just wrote an article. It's not published yet. I'm like, here we go again, like decision fatigue about, are we going to homeschool this year or are we going traditional? And I'm like word vomiting onto these pages in Substack and truly, like, processing as it comes out. I'm like, I think I just found my answer. But, a lot of, I think, all of this conversation of, like, society kind of shaping who we are, like,
Yeah.
school is a huge part in that.
Yep.
And I don't blame parents for sending their kids. My kids have gone to school. I've got kids who we've run the course. But I also, like, there is a part that's like, I'm so afraid to believe that I can give my kids enough as a homeschool parent to, like, make them successful out in the world. And yet sending them to school is just me giving away. Like, I'm like, that way, if they mess up, I can blame it on
You can blame the school system.
the school system.
I
But
couldn't
truly, like, I totally get it.
imagine. Yeah, I could not imagine homeschooling my children. When they got to be school age, we had that conversation. So my husband grew up in private school. I knew
Yeah, same.
100%. I went to private school for some years. 100% was not going to happen.
Mhm.
So then we're like, okay, well, what about homeschooling? I'm like, ooh, I don't think that they would like me very well after that. So probably not.
And it's true,
Um,
they don't.
yeah, I knew that I would probably just be yelling and screaming all day and they would hate me. And I'm like,
Mhm.
probably not. Even if they did learn anything, they would just not like me. I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. So we did send our kids to public school, but we did a lot of, I don't know how else to say, like, adventure things at home.
Yeah.
Like, we would take them different places, expose them to different kinds of food. We went to, if it was a festival and free, we were there. If it was within, like, a 30-minute driving distance. And so they got exposed to a lot of different things. And then when they got to high school, all of them. So my youngest is a senior this year and doing concurrent enrollment. So she'll
Mhm.
graduate with her high school diploma and an associate's degree.
Wow.
We have one kid that's going to go to college out of 4, and we're okay
Yeah.
with that. But when they all got to high school, they just, not that they gave up, but they just were like, why are we here? Why are we
Yeah.
doing this? This isn't like, when am I going to use this? When am I
Yeah.
going to use this thing? When am I going to do that? I'm just sitting here staring at a teacher all day. This is stupid. And I always told them, everyone, every time, just get through. If you get
Yeah.
C's, I don't care. All you need is a high school diploma. It's sad because it's such a waste of time, I feel like.
Mhm.
And so much can be condensed, and they could have such a better experience. High school should
Yeah.
be for figuring out what you're going to be in the world, not trigonometry. Like,
Right.
unless you're gonna be some mathematician, great, but most kids aren't. And it
Right.
doesn't really teach you, like, it's really sad. Our school system, I think, is broken and not offering kids really the life skills that they
Yeah.
need,
Yeah,
like the
it's
soft
teaching them how
skills.
to perform and how to get
Yeah,
noticed in
yeah.
a world that might not be built for them, or that probably won't be the same by the time that they finish high
Oh,
school
it
and
won't
a few
be.
years
Yeah,
out. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you're just validating all of the thoughts circulating in my head right now. My oldest graduated last year. and he graduated from, he did virtual education for a school district that was, that's near us. So the virtual program graduates with that high school diploma. So he did junior year and senior year. He graduated early. College was not his choice. And the hardest part for me is like, my kids are so smart. Like they're just, everything just comes so naturally.
Too smart for their own good.
Yeah. But listen, I have a college degree and I don't use it. And their dad has done very well for himself without a college degree, right? So it's
same with my husband. Same with mine.
Yeah, I know that it hasn't been my goal for them since they were born. I'm like, listen, they can make their own choices in life. But, and he is doing great. Like he is having an amazing time right now, and he's working and he's got huge financial goals. And now I get to sit with him and we talk about investing. And I'm like, listen, you're not buying anything right now. Like you're not paying rent, you're not paying for your car, you're paying for your gas, but now is the time to save and invest and set your goals. And what do you want to do? And we're having those bigger conversations, but that's all missed in high school, right? Like we're not having those conversations. And now I have a sophomore. She homeschooled last year. She's the one that's like, we're a huge deciding factor because she's an athlete. So she plays all of the things. And luckily we're in a space where if we homeschool without being attached or affiliated to any other school, she can still play for the local high school. Great. And then I have a child moving into middle school. He would desperately want to stay home, but now it's like a new adventure for him. So he is feeling like we're good. We're going to school, and I'm okay to let that happen. But I think inevitably all of them will end up graduating from homeschool. I just think there's so much that for all the reasons that you said, like, I just can't keep sending them, as long as that's not their desire to go, right? I'm not going to keep arguing with you because I don't really feel like there's any argument to send you sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think it just, every year I struggle, and it's probably been because a lot of those years I haven't been able to show up as I want to because of work or because of not having enough finances to pay for us to do the things. So it's been strange when I'm home and have the time and availability, I'm not able to give them financially like the things that I really want to do. And yeah, there's great discounts on a lot of things that are free and accessible to homeschool kids, but not everything. And even the curriculum itself can be expensive. So, and then you have the opposite of like, now I'm working like 14-hour days and I can't even like give them the time to nurture a robust curriculum. And she's in high school, so most of it's done on her own, but it's all the extra stuff that I want to give her. We could go on about education forever, but
I only have one kid who graduated traditionally from high school.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I have one kid who, no, I think both of them, did both of them graduate that way? Well, one of them went to live with relatives for a couple of years and graduated there, and they all went to private school. And so he went to private school. And then another, she did, it's called Goal Academy, and it's basically go as you're at your own pace, kind of like homeschool, kind of like the online school, but super easy. Super easy. Her husband just calls it dumb school. And I was like, just graduate. I don't really care. She learned so much at home with us, and we're very open and honest with our kids and teaching them all of those things that you don't get at school. So I was like, I don't care, just get your diploma. And then I had one kid who actually graduated from high school like a normal average person. And then my youngest is doing concurrent enrollment. And so she, the high school that she's going to is in this little tiny strip mall. And once a month she gets to go to the casino for school. That's kind of weird. It was weird. We had the first time we picked her up from school before she got her license, waiting in line at the casino with all the other parents to pick up their children. It was the weirdest experience. So here in Las Vegas, everything happens at the casino because that's where they have all the meeting rooms and everything.
Oh my gosh. So you're in Vegas. That makes
it's really funny.
Makes a lot of sense.
So weird. So weird. But we only have 1 out of 4 that actually traditionally graduated. and
Okay.
only 1 out of 4 that's going to college and has any ambition to do that.
Yeah.
And I think we we've pushed kids so much to get a degree, to go to school, to pick your career when you're 18. To
Yeah.
me, that's just wild. To
I've
figure
lived
out the rest of your
27
life,
lives since I've
you
been
know?
18, you know?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't plan the rest of your life at 18. You just can't. And now all that's produced is an entire generation of people who are exhausted and burned out, and all those moms that we see right now who are like, "I just wanna be at home and make sourdough and water some plants. That'd be great,
Truly.
thanks."
You talked early on about, like, living in a very religious upbringing and like the wife being barefoot in the kitchen. I'm like, that's what I would like to do all day. I'm like, find me Sunday mornings barefoot in the
It
kitchen
was
dancing to
really it
music.
was really nice for autonomy, and, it was really, really good. It was really, really good, and I'm so grateful that we were able to. A lot of sacrifice had to happen
Yeah.
to do that, but, I I wrote this line in a comment somewhere in the interwebs, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of a good line, I like that." And so I started writing it. I've done it a handful of different times in different places, and every time people are like, "Oh, I like that." The options are the new luxury. So it's like
Mhm.
it's not an either or, like just staying home or just working, but having the option to do the thing
Yeah.
that would make you happy. It's
Yeah.
not an either or. Life is so gray. We can't
Mm,
live in that either or.
yeah. I
But
feel like I
being at
live
home
in the
with my
gray, so
sourdough
I'm
starter
really embracing that. Literally, I'm like, what's wrong with my starter? I just had to restart it because I threw it when when I moved, and I just restarted it. And I'm like, it doesn't like we need to move again. She's not thriving in this environment. I want to come back to something though, because we were talking about how women are in, we're feeling all of these women around us in this era of like just being done, just being like, I'm so over it.
Mm,
Right. But it, now that I'm like involved in all of this or enveloped in all of this, I'm like, wait, are we all supposed to be entrepreneurs? So now I'm in this space of like, walking people through that doesn't have to mean you work for yourself, right? So
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
curious where you find yourself and these conversations that you're having with women and the people that you're meeting. What does that look like? Does everybody just want to start their own thing? And do you think that's really the evolution that's coming? Or how do we partner and put the new world right with like what women are wanting?
I would say it's being in charge,
Mm,
not just doing one or the other. So, I teach, frameworks. I never teach anything and even talk about anything of, "You should do this thing," or, "You need to do it this way," because we are all so very different that the solution that we're seeking is nuanced for each
yeah.
and every person. Um, it could be a business, it could be a portfolio career where you have a
Hmm.
little bit
Oh,
here and a little bit there.
I've been hearing so much about that lately. Yeah.
It really depends on what feels good to you and what you want.
Yeah.
My only thing that I say all the time is, again, it comes down to options,
Yeah.
um, is never putting all your eggs in one basket. So when we have one job, we're putting our entire livelihood in the hands of somebody who doesn't really care about us. We're just a line item on their
Yeah.
spreadsheet, and a decision can be made to let us go, and we have no control over that.
Mhm.
Whereas if you took those same skills and instead of just going to that one company, you go to 5 different companies. So then when one company's like, "Yeah, we don't need this anymore," then you say, oh, okay, well, now I'm going to go out and I'm going to find another company to replace that. So it's spreading it out rather than just depending on one thing.
Yeah.
Or
And the
you can
ball is
just
still in
say,
your court in that
exactly,
scenario.
it's
Yeah.
control, and
Yeah.
you get to control your destiny rather than having somebody else tell you what to do. So
Yeah.
maybe you have all of those things, or you do have your own business and you go forward with this one thing that you want to bring to the world. It it just really depends on what you want and who you are and your goals in life.
Yeah. I love how you say that you structured it around framework, right? Like it's like building that scaffolding and it's like a whole
Mhm,
network. It's not just one thing that's telling you like this
mhm,
is the decision you need to make and go with it. So it's
mhm,
telling people, it's reminding people like there's no one right or wrong answer or
mhm,
scenario, but how to like fall back to that framework of who you are and what you want. I also think it's interesting. I've been having bigger connections and communications around this with friends really who are like, they feel like, well, where am I going to find that? Like, I don't think I can be an entrepreneur. And that's kind of where this has come up because I'm like, God, that's a good question. Because for me, I've always, I think, instinctively known, like, I just, the kind of freedom in life I want to build is the kind
so
where
yeah,
I want to work for myself. I've always been in leadership when I've been in corporate. And so it's led me down this other avenue of like, you need to start looking for the spaces that see you as a human, right? It comes back to, again, connection. When I think about the team that I am building and that I will have someday, those are humans in my
mhm,
space.
mhm,
And even right now in a big organization, I have a relationship with everybody on my team. I am the type of leader that understands that these are people. When we shift them, when we start talking about letting them go, I am emotionally invested in that
mhm.
decision, which is why it makes it very hard. Like, I'm like, we got it. They can do this. Let me coach them a little bit more, which isn't always the answer. But, but it's the
That sounds good.
reminder of you don't have to build your own thing because other people, women in my world, are building really beautiful spaces. And that's another shift I think that's coming is that corporate, it's getting kind of like an ugly rap right now, right? Because I mean, let's just face it. It's like these, who knows who's at the head of most of these corporations and
Yeah,
organizations
right?
right now. But I just think we're going to see that fall. Like, and it doesn't mean that we're all going to be self made entrepreneurs, but
Mhm.
they're going to start to build from a really authentic, aligned, intuitive space. And I think it's that message of find somewhere that you can be seen for a person and who you are, because that's the place where you can grow and do the things and build that community and feel really
Yes.
good and purposeful about it. And it doesn't have to be your own thing. Like I get the fear of feeling like you're responsible for your paycheck. I understand that's not for everybody. So I think it's just having those conversations, like you said, like look at a portfolio sort of
Mhm.
environment instead where you have options and you can be like, you don't value me? Okay, bye. I will
Right.
find another company that does with this
Yep.
spread of beautiful companies that I work with. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. It's not a one size fits all. And unfortunately, in corporate, it has become that. You have
Yeah.
to be that one person, that exact little robot. And I foresee in the next few years that there is going to be, I joke, it's a corporate crisis, um, that so many people are going to be opting out of corporate for various reasons, doing their own thing, however they're going to do it. And corporate's going to have to the corporate norms are going to have to change back to loyalty, back to taking care of your employees, making sure people are happy to work for you, because there's going to be a reckoning where there's not going to be enough people to take the jobs that are going to be needed.
Yeah.
And even with AI, like people, I'm a huge AI user. I will caveat that. But I don't think so many people right now are scared about AI taking jobs, and all of that's a cover, in my own opinion. But I don't foresee, even in the next few years, next maybe 5 to 10 years, that there's going to be this massive migration of now AI is doing all these jobs and no one's going to work, and it's going to be this utopia that the tech bros keep talking about. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's going to be some sort of corporate crisis where people just are done, and we can't be nickel and dimed. I call it the privatization of our world. I don't know how familiar you are with private equity and what they do when they go into corporations. It's all of that privatization where it's nickel and diming, and as an employee, you are nickel and dimed. Your time, your attention, your soul is nickel and dimed every day. And there's going to be a shift back to the baby boomers, where you could work for a place for 20 years, go rise up the ladder and be happy. It's like that, a pendulum that swings back and forth.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Well, this is wild. We have across the board talked about things that I don't think we touched on any of the topics that you actually threw out there.
No, totally did not. It was a really great conversation, though.
Yeah, this was great. I think we should probably do another one where we like deep dive into human design. So part of my deep dive was getting my certification. So I use that in my coaching. I'm an astrology reader and a human design reader. And so talk about the deep dive. So I think we should do another one where we talk a little bit about, human design and the archetypes and the profiles. And yeah, I'm really into like the North and South node in astrology right now, because that was the huge shift that just occurred, was the shifting of the nodals into Aquarius.
I very high level.
Yeah, no, I know. It's so funny. Like I actually got my certification in human design reading because astrology was it was so overwhelming. I'm like, I don't get it. And human design was much more like structured. And I was like, this I get.
Yeah.
And now that I've like completely dove into human design, now astrology suddenly makes total sense. I'm like, oh, got it. So it's fun to kind of meld the two and meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
But your human design chart is based off of your astrological signs.
Yep.
So they all go hand in hand. But
Yep. It's all science.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yes, this was such a good
appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'll do it again.
Sounds
all right.
Good. Thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye.